Hi everybody, welcome back to Get Stuck In. Season 2 of it, and joined by still the same crew. Tried to get an upgrade, couldn't get it. Martin Dixon and Dan Barber, how are we going?
I'm good, very good, thanks Niall. Yeah, looking forward to it. I had my first day out jumping at Carlisle Sunday. Felt like I would come on for the run. I was having a good blow afterwards and still getting to grips with everything a little bit, but looking forward to it.
It is quite easy. I'm the same as you. Still in flat mode, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's easier than getting back into flat, isn't it? If you have time out.
Well, I think it is, because there's two distinct seasonal changes, isn't there, in the jump season, where you don't see the key horses pretty much for the whole of the summertime, and it's only really once October comes that you have to start keeping an eye on things. That's what I do really. When you get Chepstow, the big meeting there, you have to start watching some of those key horses coming back for the season. I suppose for the month of October there's that crossover, but now it's full on jumps mode really.
Yeah, Dan, straight into the first question. Charlie All Chase at the weekend, Gentleman's Game was your winner. What about Brave Man's Game now?
Yeah, tough one really, isn't it? So much depends on why you think he wilted late on, and he did wilt late on. It's still neck and neck. He's in front entering the final furlong. I think it's a combination of things. Probably not Cherry Ripe. Gentleman's Game was the only horse in the field who'd been out this autumn already and has obviously got plenty of stamina. But if you make a mistake like that at a time of the race that he did, it's going to have an extra effect on him. And perverse though it sounds, second in a Gold Cup but a tired second and a King George winner, I still think sort of his speed is his greatest asset as a 3-miler, which is a pretty rare thing. So that will tie into where his potential target is next time. Haydock being discussed, and the King George being the race he won so emphatically last season. Where will they go? But for me it was a combination of things, but I have no doubt that he's still the best horse that ran in the Charlie Hall.
Oh, by a mile as well, isn't he? I'd say Gentleman's Game will never beat him again.
That was my view, yeah.
You're right.
Well, look, it was cup final day for him. He'd had a run.
£6 penalty.
Yeah, but cup final.
No, I mean, Brave Man's Game, £6.
Brave Man's Game had a £6 penalty, but Gentleman's Game had a run behind him as well, going into it, and it sort of that would have been his prime target. Brave Man's Game has got other targets coming up that will be a bigger deal for them than the Charlie Hall, and I think ultimately when the dust settles, both sets of connections will be delighted. Well done to Mouse Morris and his team for getting Gentleman's Game on the board with a grade 2, but I suspect that'll be as good as in my opinion, as good as his career ever gets.
Only his third ever run over fences. It's mad though, isn't it?
I'm normally, as you two know, a very negative person. Very negative person. Some borderline rude about him. I came away from Wellerby thinking Brave Man's Game, £6 in that ground, has ran really hell of a race, as good as last year. But I was really plus the winner. I was plus him beforehand. All his damn side is all pure stamina. Done it improved for the trip. He was receiving £6. He'd fitness edge. I get that, but he's trained by Mouse Morris. I think so underrated as a trainer. Like back in the day, maybe you may be too young to remember Trapper John, Boss Doyle, First Lieutenant, Caravella House.
Boss Doyle, I'll give you that. I remember that one.
All these horses that when he gets a good horse, he's good. And most trainers, my other job, the jockey's agent, I can't stand him. Yeah. To all you watching, you know who you are. But Mouse Morris done an interview recently. I can't remember who it was with, so apologies. It was in print, and he said if you could train one jump horse, which jump horse would you like to train in your yard? And he said, I've got him. Gentleman's Game's the one, and he's the only, well, not the only trainer, but one of very few. I was like, all right. So I came away.
Be Thistlecrack style stuff, that winning a race of that calibre so quickly. And obviously, it's been forcing him because he's had training problems. He missed a long time, didn't he? But yeah, the engine's there. Martin's saying, I think all things being equal, Brave Man's Game remains a superior horse. I suppose a lot depends on conditions. If they ran against each other in a Betfair Chase where it's barely raceable ground, it's a real slugfest, you might again give a slight edge to Gentleman's Game because he's obviously got loads of stamina. But I think in terms of class and quality, like a King George, for instance, it'd be completely one-way traffic. He's
going to go to Leopardstown. Gentleman's Game is where we'll see him next. So basically, we don't know about Gentleman's Game and Brave Man's Game. What's your thoughts? Do let us know. On this show, we've had lots of changes. Not the changes I would like. One of them is Niall's news round, nothing to do with me. But in this section, I catch up with several trainers and jockeys. Henry Brook has got a big ride in the Grand Sefton at Aintree Saturday. James Owen, rookie trainer, still think we can call him that, who's doing exceptionally well. And another trainer called Gordon Elliott. Gordon, thanks for taking your time out. First of all, isn't it great that Down Royal so quickly have rescheduled this fixture?
Yeah, it was. Fair play to them. They've done a great job. Look, they're just very unlucky to win all the rain themselves, but it's back on this week, which is great.
And Gordon, looking at your stats, you've sent some nice horses to Down Royal. You've had a lot of winners there. It's a great track.
It's a great race course. It's almost 2 miles in a circuit. It's a proper track. The best horse normally always wins. It's been lucky for us, so we like the sport. And
hopefully it will be Jerry Colum coming out on top. How's he been over the summer?
Yeah, he's a good form now. He looks great. He's definitely got a bit stronger. This is the start of the season and he is going to come on from it. But I think it's a nice stepping stone towards the Gold Cup. And
straight away you mentioned the Cheltenham Gold Cup. You truly believe he is that sort of horse?
Yeah, most definitely. I think the Gold Cup trip will really suit him. The track will suit him. We're training him for that until he tells us something different,
That's great for his owners, Rob Corr. They put a lot of money into the game, but they're now getting their rewards, the likes of Gentleman's Game, Mice Morris's horse, who won the Charlie Hall Chase Saturday, and obviously your horse as well, but they're getting a strong team behind them.
Yeah, in fairness to Brian and the whole family, Carmel and Courtney and Rob, they're a great team and they're investing a lot of money into it, so it's great for them,
What else will run? Will Conflated go?
Conflated will run, and I'll maybe run something else. I could run 2 or 3 in it, definitely 2, maybe 3. But we're looking forward to it.
And over the 2 days, any other horses we should keep a close eye on?
Oh, we have a lot of nice horses now, and if I pick one out now, I'd be in trouble. But we're working a lot. We're on our way working a lot of them this morning now, and we'll make our mind up this evening when we see the weights and the entries for the second day, what we'll run where. But we'll have a good team out, all being well.
Super. We wish you well, Gordon, not just this weekend, but for the whole season ahead.
Thanks so much, Ryan. Thank you.
The Grand Sefton weekend at Aintree, and Guestkill is at the head of the market. He will be ridden by Henry Brook, who knows this horse well. Henry, thanks for taking time out. How's the horse? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good now. Thank you. Yeah, no, he's in great order. Josh actually messaged me this morning just to say, he goes, this horse is looking great. So they're obviously good vibes from the yard. Looking forward to getting back on him.
And you talk about these fences, they still command respect, and going there with a horse who's got the experience like he has must be great.
Yeah, look, touch wood. He's very good. He's quick and away. He can get in tight, and he doesn't lose any ground. He's a bit of an expert around there. It's nice to just kind of keep coming back to him for them big races around there, because you go there driving there looking forward to it instead of thinking, I'm not sure what this lot will be like. He's going to give you a good spin.
Yeah, how do you ride him? With so many big Eastfield, do you try and get a bit of space, or are you handy, drop in a bit?
I love going right down the paint now if I can round there. He has a tendency, if anything in a race, he will lug a little bit left. So I normally just go straight down there. But I think there might only be 12, 13 runners in that this year. So I'll ride him handy away. Obviously, I'll drop him in normally in the beach a little bit. But we'll ride him, I'm pretty sure we'll ride him right up there.
Obviously, lots and lots of rain around. Big association, Molly Greenall and Josh Guerrero, they're flying along. John Quinn as well. You must be really looking forward to the jump season proper, really kicking in now.
Yeah, massively. I'm loving my time there from day one, to be fair. And they're obviously getting bigger and bigger. They're a team that really know what they're doing. Kind of everybody has their own little job and they do it well. So, it's just me. I've got to keep doing my bit.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll keep doing that. Best of luck at the weekend, and we'll catch up soon. Thanks, Henry.
Spot on now. Thank you.
One trainer who's made a really bright start to his training career is James Owen, who joins us on the line. We're going to talk about maybe the elite hurdle at the weekend. But first of all, James, Burdett Road a few days ago, very impressive. And straight afterwards, talks to the Triumph Hurdle. How impressed were you?
Yeah, no, very impressed, Niall. Well, relieved as much as anything. We all know he's a good horse off the flat. He got the job done at Huntingdon, made a few mistakes, was keen. I'd have been worried if he wasn't keen. He was keen on the flat, and he's just very exuberant. He enjoyed it, and he's come out of the race great. He's learned a lot, and we'll go to Cheltenham now for the Triumph trial in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I was going to say to you, that's the obvious next step, so that's where we'll see him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he's going to learn a lot more there, and we'll know exactly what we've got. What we've got.
Two friendlies in the elite hurdle at the weekend. He's obviously holds an entry at the Greatwood the following week at Cheltenham. What's your thoughts at the minute?
The Greatwood's been the plan since his last run. I think a strongly run handicap would play to his strengths. He's a very good traveller in a race, and I was just tracking the entries yesterday for the elite and just see there wasn't that many in there, and I've just put him in there in the off chance. if the Nichols horse wasn't to run, we probably might change our minds and go that way.
It looks to me like a sharp test wouldn't be a problem to him either.
Oh no, he's got plenty of speed. He's got plenty of pace.
Yeah. Tell us about you. Obviously, I've known you a long time, but you haven't had a licence that long. You've less than 100 runners. You've had 19 winners, numerous other horses placed. And stats tell us you're doing a great job. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, no, we're loving it. Yeah, the whole team's loving it. This is our first season with a National Hunt licence. We've always trained Arabians, and we've done well at that. But our main business has always been pre-training. But we've always had, it's a very seasonal thing, and we've always had something to back that up, whether it be Arabian racing or the pointers, just to keep the stables full and so and keep the staff on all year round. And when Shadwell sort of got out of Arabian racing, we were always looking for that other avenue. And National Hunt, I've always been fond of National Hunt racing. I was involved with John Ferguson as assistant trainer, and I rode as a fairly amateur, but I enjoyed it. And National Hunt is, we decided to have 10 boxes. We've now got to 20, and we're hoping to grow that even further and, get some nicer horses along the way. It's been great. The Gredleys have supported me to have these nice horses. In our first season, to be looking at races like the Elite Hurdle and the Great Wood and potentially down the line, we've maybe got a Triumph Hurdle horse. It's unreal. Yeah,
so hopefully, I know at home you've got scope to build. You'd like to do that jumping wise?
Oh no, definitely. We'd like to build. We've got 80 boxes in our yard. We can continue to build, and Newmarket's a very good place to train jumpers. There's miles of grass, fantastic schooling facilities, and with Warren Hill and Long Hill, plenty of good jumpers have been trained in Newmarket.
Cremences, Royal Gate, couple of champion hurdle winners, the top of my head. Absolutely. James, great to catch up. Keep up the good work, and whatever way you go with Too Friendly, if it's the Elite this Saturday or the Great Wood the following Sunday, we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Right, it's time to find out some winners, hopefully. This weekend, plenty of racing all around the country, and it's good news that Down Royal has been rescheduled as well. Dan Barber, I'll start with you. Give us a winner.
Yeah, a horse called Half Shot, I think will go very well in that Grand Sefton. He's been running, I think, over a trip beyond him, but he pushed Bill Baxter close. He made a great return at Carlisle. He's obviously a winner at Aintree. He's given Elvis Mail a real race. This is all over distances what I think are too far for him. He's going to travel strongly. I think his jumping is an asset. And in what is an unusually small 5-day entry for the Grand Sefton, there might not be the chaos that there often is. So I'm strong on him, win and place in the belief that he's going to be a different horse now he's back in trip.
Okay, Martin?
Yeah, I think Rubo will win the Elite Hurdle for what it's worth, but he's going to be a very short price. I'll take Dan on head-to-head with Nassalam in the Grand Sefton. Horse of Gary Moore's, obviously they've started the autumn pretty well. Nassalam's just some of his strongest handicap chase form last season. That third at Cheltenham on New Year's Day, I think, stands above what most of these have achieved. He may or may not take to the national fences, but I think if he does and he gets into a rhythm through the first half of the race, he's a big player. He's a strong stayer at 2 mile 5, which is what you're going to need. I think conditions set to be very testing at Aintree at the weekend. He handles that sort of ground, and as I say, I think some of his best form last season gives him a big chance.
Okay, come back next week, we'll find out. Was he right? Was either of them right? We'll find out Saturday. What do you fancy in the Grand Sefton at Aintree this Saturday? Okay, we need a couple of horses to keep an eye on the tracker section. I'll start with you this time, Martin. Go on.
Saturday, we had a horse called Trap Rain Law finish third in what I think was a really strong handicap chase up at Ayr. He set a strong gallop, went enthusiastically, jumped really well. After the second last, he got a little bit tired, but I think it was a good race generally and a race that will throw up winners. So Trap Rain Law, handicap has left him alone off 120. And the following day, I was at Carlisle, saw V12 finish second in a handicap hurdle. A little bit short of room after the final flight of hurdles. He travelled well through the race. Very likely race for Martin Todhunter, and I think he's got a few handicap hurdle wins in him in the short term.
Okay, Dan?
Yeah, I'm going back a couple of weeks. Last time I was on track, I did a Ludlow and Kelso in short space of time, and I thought there were plenty at Ludlow to toy with, but Chock-a-Block was the main one. From that quality family of Chomba Womba and horses like that, he stood out a mile in the paddock, as so many Henderson horses did. He just got touched off by an ex-Fab flat horse for Fergal O'Brien. No disgrace in that. If he goes up to 2.5 miles somewhere like Newbury, I think he'd be a borderline good thing to win a novice hurdle. And then lower grade, which is a horse called Take Centre Stage of Rebecca Menzies, who always looked to chase her in a light hurdling career. He got absolutely, I nearly swore then. He got legless between the last two, but he'd gone off at a really strong pace. His jumping had looked a big asset, and he walked until he walked through the last. There'll be some 0 to 110 handicap round somewhere like Sedgefield where they won't see which way he goes. Are you about to slag him?
I won't. He's a half brother to Tom.
That's a plus, isn't it?
No, because not allowed to. He's a half brother to.
Yeah.
He's a half brother to Tommy's Oscar.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
I think he's a goat myself,
yeah.
But this is not my money here.
These goats can win not.
Yeah. There's lots of not the 85s and 90s. There's lots of. He might win a few races.
Yeah, not 25. They don't exist anymore.
He's a Fame and Glory, I think.
That's right. Yeah. You know loads about him. I reckon you're all over him yourself.
Yeah. We are. Right, so your 2 are?
Trap Rain Law V12. If you haven't seen Mr. Meggitt win the bumper at Carlisle on Sunday as well, just have a watch of that replay because he could be pretty smart.
Carlisle bumpers this time of year can.
He absolutely bolted up. Now, I don't know what he took on, but John Joe just cruised through the race, gave him a shake of the reins and literally sprinted up the last 100 yards. You don't see it happen very often on soft ground. He's just worth watching. He could be pretty smart, but we can only put a couple up. So
okay, and your 2 are?
Chock-a-Block and the potential group performer Take Centre Stage.
Good stuff. Winner is a winner, whatever grade. There's a couple of tracker horses from both Dan and Martin. It's November, so we've got to talk Cheltenham. The March Cheltenham, that is. We've got to talk Gold Cup. Not my idea again. Director Dave. Start with you. What wins the Gold Cup?
Right, I'm going to suggest that Marla Mission, left field, could develop into a Gold Cup candidate. He's a massive price at the moment, but he would have won the National Hunt Chase, I think, last season if he'd have stood up. Nice comeback from him at Carlisle on Sunday in the Colin Parker. He's going to be set to go to the Coral Gold Cup, I think, next month. He'll go there with a decent chance, I think, and if he was to win the Coral Gold Cup, one thing after another he could end up being a left field Gold Cup candidate, and at the moment I think he's about a 66 to 1 shot. So we'll see how that develops over the next few months.
Yeah, what wins the Gold Cup might be a bit strong, more so for Martin's than mine, I think. But Shishkin 14 to 1 showed. I mean, people were talking about him after Cheltenham like he was the next Mad Moose or something, like he was the most ungenuine horse around. He hung left a bit, but he rattled home after getting wiped out almost. He then went to Aintree over 3 miles, and in a race where everything went well for Ahoy Senor, he still couldn't get away from Shishkin's late burst. I mean, I think he's the best horse. I think he's as good a horse as Galopin Des Champs in terms of ratings, historically, in terms of ability, and he's still got this untapped potential. And one of the main angles I like with him, Martin's mentioned Marla Mission will be going for the Hennessy as was. The talk is that Shishkin's going straight for the Betfair Chase, and you're on an immediate shortener if he comes out and delivers the sort of performance that I think he's capable of.
Okay, we'll see how he goes ahead. I'm not far away. The jump season really is bursting into life. But what do you think will win the Cheltenham Gold Cup, or do you think we should breathalyse the pundits before we let them in? Do you agree? Disagree? Do let us know. Right, that's us done and dusted for our first Get Stuck In. You still come on from the run?
Yeah, I think so. We're at Ludlow as well on Thursday, so I'll have a bit more match practice by the time we come here next week now.
We're at Fakenham, Niall, in a couple of weeks, but you can't wait.
Faking them on you. Bubble.
I won't talk, honestly.
Right, thank you for watching. You deserve a prize for watching this from start to finish. We've got that prize for you. Do check out Taking the Reins. Tom Marcon is the first on, a very special guest on Sporting Life, and I promise you, unlike this show, it's worth a watch. See you later.